The economic foundations of modern air defense are crumbling under the weight of cheap plastic and duct tape. In a striking reality of current attrition warfare, multi-million-dollar missile systems are being rendered economically useless by $3,000 kamikaze drones. Russian strategic infrastructure, including critical energy facilities in Slavyansk, faced intensive long-range drone swarm attacks, highlighting a severe cost asymmetry that leaves vital assets exposed. Leading global defense analysts argue that while heavy systems like the S-400 or Buck M3 can successfully track targets, firing a $2 million missile to neutralize a $5,000 drone is financial suicide. Even the specialized Panzer S one-point defense system, which costs nearly $15 million per vehicle, cannot be deployed everywhere, leaving vast industrial sectors defenseless and completely vulnerable. On paper, their only tactical salvation would be a low-cost, mass-produced network-capable weapon. This is exactly why the recent June 2026 announcement from the Kalashnikov Concern has sent shockwaves through the defense community. The defense manufacturer confirmed it is officially moving the Krona-E air defense system into mass production. This sudden escalation raises a critical question. Is the Krona-E an engineering triumph? Or is it a desperate economic shield rushed to the front lines because Moscow simply has no other choice? This system operates on a passive hunting doctrine, bypassing traditional radar to avoid detection while utilizing automated laser beam riding technology to neutralize incoming threats within a 10-kilometer engagement zone. By stripping away expensive high-rate cannons, Kalashnikov has slashed production costs by 50%, offering a brutal and practical answer to the drone crisis. Before we go on, you think cost-effective defense systems will completely replace legacy multi-million-dollar missiles in the near future? Hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our deep military analysis. And tell me where you are watching from. To understand why this system is being accelerated into mass production, we must look closely at its stark, stripped-down engineering design. The Krona-E is a weapon born from battlefield realism, not luxury. It is not an entirely new development built from scratch, but rather a deep modernization of the combat turret module from the older, frozen Sosna 9K35M5 project. During extensive field trials conducted in April 2026, defense planners integrated this automated turret onto the highly mobile BTR-82 8x8 wheeled armored personnel carrier. The primary tactical advantage of the Krona-E lies in its ability to operate in total electromagnetic silence. Unlike traditional systems that broadcast their location through active radar emissions, the Krona-E utilizes a high-precision electro-optical and infrared tracking suite. It hunts passively, scanning the skies with thermal and optical sensors, making the vehicle virtually invisible to radar-destroying anti-radiation missiles. For engagement, it carries a dense configuration of 10 ready-to-launch missiles, featuring a flexible mix of Sosna 9M340 and upgraded 9M333 interceptors. The core of this arsenal relies on laser beam riding technology. Once a threat is detected, a highly concentrated laser beam locks onto the target, and the missile rides this beam directly to impact. This method renders the interceptor immune to standard thermal flares or electronic jamming counters, creating a definitive dead zone within a 10-kilometer horizontal range and a 3.5-kilometer altitude ceiling. Most importantly, Kalashnikov achieved a massive economic victory by removing the expensive 30mm twin autocannons found on systems like the Pantsir S-1. By relying purely on this missile network design, the production cost of the Krona-E module has been slashed by 50%, turning it into a hyper-focused, automated drone hunter that can transition from convoy march to combat readiness in under 10 minutes with a crew of just 2 operators. The shifting timeline of this weapons program reveals a profound pivot in state priority, moving rapidly from a commercial export venture to a matter of survival. When the Kalashnikov Concern initially unveiled the Krona-E at the IDEX 2025 Defense Exhibition in Abu Dhabi during February 2025, the primary strategic goal was clear. Moscow was actively seeking foreign buyers, particularly in the Middle East, to generate critical hard currency revenue and break through international economic isolation. However, the relentless escalation of low-cost drone strikes against domestic infrastructure throughout the first quarter of 2026 shattered these commercial calculations. By April 2026, the Russian Ministry of Defense ordered the immediate repatriation and domestic field testing of the Krona-E, integrating the automated turret onto the BTR-82 chassis to defend vulnerable territorial assets rather than chasing foreign sales. This urgent transition explains why the official announcement of mass production followed so quickly in June 2026. Global defense analysts argue that, on paper, this rapid deployment represents a complete restructuring of the territorial air defense doctrine. Moscow can no longer afford to let its forward military units and its domestic industrial base compete for the same expensive missile stockpiles. By mass-producing the Krona-E, defense planners can permanently detach high-tier systems like the S-400 and Buk M3, pushing them exclusively to the front lines to counter high-altitude aircraft and ballistic missiles. Meanwhile, the domestic rearguard, including hundreds of critical refineries, ammunition depots, and vital railway junctions, will be guarded by a synchronized network of Krona-E platforms. Utilizing a networked short-range air defense architecture, a single command post can link multiple BTR-82 launch vehicles, creating a continuous, cost-effective defensive grid designed specifically to exhaust incoming drone swarms before they ever reach their targets. Looking ahead across the next 12 months, the deployment of the Krona-E will fundamentally transform the operational landscape, yet it introduces a critical technological vulnerability that defense analysts are watching closely. In the short term, the first mass-produced units rolling off the Kalashnikov production lines will be deployed extensively across western Russia and the maritime borders of Crimea to establish a domestic testing ground. If these units successfully reduce infrastructure losses during the remainder of 2026, the system will instantly morph into a highly lucrative export asset for other regions facing asymmetrical threats, such as the Middle East. However, a significant blind spot remains unaddressed by mainstream media. The primary strength of the Krona-E, its laser beam riding guidance system, is heavily dependent on atmospheric conditions. Independent naval and aerospace engineers note that while laser guidance is completely immune to electronic jamming, heavy fog, dense combat smoke, and torrential rain scatter laser beams, severely degrading target tracking capabilities. This environmental limitation explains why Kalashnikov integrated the secondary optical 9M333 missiles. But this dual-layer configuration risks overloading a small two-person crew during multi-directional swarm attacks. Ultimately, The rapid industrial-scale production of the Krona-E delivers a profound lesson in modern military doctrine. In a protracted war of attrition, ultimate victory does not belong to the state with the most technologically complex or expensive weapon, but to the nation that can sustain a cost-effective, highly repeatable defensive shield over its industrial heartland. The Krona-E is not a revolutionary superweapon, but it is an incredibly smart, highly pragmatic economic adaptation to a shifting battlefield. Do you believe that low-cost, weather-dependent laser defense systems like the Krona-E can truly defeat the next generation of highly automated AI-driven drone swarms? Or will atmospheric vulnerabilities remain their ultimate undoing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.